Celtics fans, NBA free agency is ongoing, and we're going to break down every move that has been made up to this point. But before we do that, if you love the Celtics, then subscribe to the channel. We're growing like crazy. My guy Will Scott is doing a great job bringing you guys videos just about every single day. He is off today. You got me instead. Apologies, but we're still here breaking down the latest Celtics news and rumors. So go ahead and subscribe if you love the Boston Celtics. Celtics Today is presented by Aura. If you want to stay secure online, head over to aura.com/chatsports. They're an all-in-one digital safety provider, and they're going to keep you safe on the internet. Aura.com/chatsports. All right, on today's show, we're going to do a little free agency tracker for the Celtics. Every move up to this point is we've hit a bit of a standstill in free agency. We, of course, do have to hit the Malcolm Brogdon trade. That is a part of this, of course, as the Celtics were able to acquire Brogdon for, honestly, a pretty damn good deal. Daniel Theis, Aaron Nesmith, Malik, Nick Stauskas, and a first-round pick next year. Sure, a first is, a decent asset there, but you basically just gave up a first for Brogdon because none of those other players were giving you anything in terms of legitimate rotation minutes. Nesmith did not develop. Daniel Theis is not what he was a few years ago. I thought this was a great trade for Boston. So you acquire Brogdon on what was that, day 2, day 3 of free agency, whatever it was. Certainly he's had an injury history, and that has probably driven down the cost for Malcolm Brogdon, plus the fact that he is entering the final year of his current contract. There were a lot of rumors that Boston would be interested and look for Brogdon and get a lot of run at the 1 and at the 2 position. When he's healthy, this is a good player. 19 points per game. He can dish. He can rebound. He's a good defender. Didn't have his best shooting splits last year, about 45% from the floor and low 30s from 3. Didn't shoot it as well for Indiana, but this is a guy a few years ago who had a 50-40-90 season. I mean, he is capable of lighting it up. One of the best two-way guards in the league when he is healthy. That is the key. He's got to stay healthy, but if he does, you're talking about a steal of a trade. I was a big fan of it for the Boston Celtics. What do you guys think? Grade the trade of Malcolm Brogdon, A, B, C, D, or F. Drop a letter down in the comment section below. I got to give it an A because even if it doesn't work out, all you gave up was 1 first-round pick. It really wasn't that much of a haul. Now, again, the injuries are notable. You look at his past 5 years. Last year missed a lot of time, 46 games. Year before, 16, not bad. 19 the year before that, too. I think you'd live with those numbers. 20 or less, I think you'd be happy with, which is what you got from 2018 to 2021. 34 games back in 17-18. So 2 of the last 5 years, he's missed a good chunk of time, and he's not going to be a guy that plays 75 out of 82 games. Can you get 60-plus and get him healthy for the playoffs? I think you'd be pretty happy with those numbers. Now, you look at the Celtics' current lineup, it'll be interesting to see if Brogdon is a starter or not. I would roll with Marcus Smart as a starter, get the slightly better defensive player to start. He made enough strides last year. And I like Brogdon as a super 6-man because he can really score coming off the bench. But there's certainly a scenario where Brogdon could start. Hell, maybe you could start both Smart and Brogdon and you take one of Robert Williams or Al Horford out of the starting lineup. But not sure I want to do that either. Something has to give. You got 6 players capable of starting, really 8 if you want to count Derek White and Danilo Gallinari, but I do think both those guys will come off the bench. If you had to pick one, who should start? Type MS for Marcus Smart, type MB for Malcolm Brogdon. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. Who do you want to start for the Celtics? MS for Smart or MB for Malcolm Brogdon? Next up on our Celtics free agency tracker, Danilo Gallinari has signed with the Celtics as well. 2 years, $13 million, coming in on a part of that taxpayers mid-level that Boston had. And quite frankly, I think this is one of the best value signings of free agency. Now, didn't have his best year last year, but this is a guy who's capable of being a 15-plus point per game guy. He's been that in the past. Certainly, he's getting a little bit older, but still poured in 12 points per game, 43% from the field. We know he can light it up from distance as well. You look at his past 4 seasons, sure, the volume has dipped, but the efficiency has still been solid from three-point range, 38% last year, over 40% the 3 prior years. Don't think he's going to give you 18, 19 points per game like he used to, but 12 to 14 points per game off the bench, shoot 38 to 40% from 3. I don't see why that can't happen, especially if he's coming off the bench with a guy like Malcolm Brogdon, a guy who can create for Gallinari, who is also a capable isolation scorer. So the Malcolm Brogdon trade, the Danilo Gallinari trade, 2 excellent moves for the Boston Celtics. If they don't do much else, I think you have to call it a successful free agency period. Now, Aura is the sponsor of today's show, and they offer a ton of benefits, including financial fraud protection. Listen, we do everything online, including online banking, shopping online. Hackers are coming after your card information. They're going to protect you from that, send you suspicious alerts if there are any instances of suspicious activity. Identity theft protection as well is another thing that they offer. Online and overall device security, social media accounts, emails with your password information, Netflix. Everything we do is through the internet, right? Aura is going to survey all of that and keep you secure online. Family plans up to 5 people as well. Get a free trial today, aura.com/chatsports. Stay safe online. You're not going to want to miss out on this deal. It's a 14-day free trial. Link in the comments, and it's in the description. Luke Kornet is next up here. 2-year deal to stay with the Boston Celtics. He's, of course, spent some time in the G League with the Maine Celtics. But there's some upside here. 7'2", 250, some shot blocking ability. I think a back end of the roster type of guy that'll, potentially spend more time in the G League this year could certainly happen. I don't mind bringing a guy like this back on board, a player who can still improve, in my opinion, as well. He's got some skill. It's just, the Celtics have a deep roster. It's going to take time to see if he can carve out a role for himself, but he is back on a 2-year contract. What's the best move the Celtics have made so far this offseason? If you had to pick one, what would it be? I think it's got to be the trade for Malcolm Brogdon, right? That's what I'm going with. Sure, you could go with the Gallinari signing. I think those are clearly the best 2. If you had to pick one, best move for the Celtics so far this offseason, let me know down in the comments. Okay, one more move to come. Be sure to subscribe as well. Sam Hauser back, deep back into the roster guy, 3 years and $6 million is kind of like Kornet, back into the roster type. Maybe he'll spend some time in the G League as well, but Hauser's got some potential as a floor spacer. In the G League last year, he balled out. 17 points, 5 rebounds per game, over 43% from 3. This is a developmental guy I will gladly take a chance on, because if you can shoot the basketball like that, that can translate to the NBA. Now, he's got to be able to do a little bit more than just simply shoot the basketball, but if he can hold his own as a defender and continue to improve as an overall player, maybe, just maybe, you got something here. I like the 3-year deal. You get the security for him as he continues to improve and develop. All right, name a player you want the Celtics to add next. So far, it's all about Brogdon and Gallinari with a couple of other minor moves, and Kornet and Hauser as well. What's going to happen next? You guys predict it. What do you want to see Brad Stevens do? We'll see you next time here on Celtics Today. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.